On this week's History of, we are looking at the now-closed Texas World Speedway. So sit back and let's travel to College Station, Texas. What you see here is what is left of Texas World Speedway. Originally opened as Texas International Speedway. The Speedway is located in College Station, Texas. Opening in 1969, it was one of only 8 super speedways in the U.S. used for racing. Sitting on 600 acres, there was a 2-mile oval and several road course configurations. The full oval configuration was closely related to that of Michigan and was often considered the latter's sister track, featuring steeper banking at 22 degrees in the turns, 12 degrees at the start/finish line, and only 2 degrees along the backstretch, compared to Michigan's respective 18, 12, and 5 degrees.
I can remember when A.J. Foyt in 73 was up at Indianapolis 33rd and on the bubble, and there was a whole lot of work done there, and they finally not only gained equity, but they seem to have a bit of an edge right now, and that's what's upset the 4-cylinders.
Well, they do have an edge, and when turbocharging first came in, why it was done so with the 4-cylinder, and at that time all of a sudden they had...
Numerous races were held here at the Speedway, ownership changing hands several times throughout the years. NASCAR races as well as IndyCar races had this track in their schedules for years until the track fell into such disrepair that both of these racing sanctions had to drop the track. The last major race held here was the NASCAR Budweiser 400 in 1981, Benny Parsons coming out on top. Several other smaller races were held here though, including IMSA. The fastest recorded lap speed is held by Jeff Andretti at 234.5 miles per hour in IndyCar. The 1973 Texas 200 has the fastest lap time at 33.62 seconds, held by Mario Andretti in IndyCar. August 25, 2017. Hurricane Harvey would make landfall on the Texas coast, causing millions in damage and leaving a trail of destruction as it passed.
Well, Christine, I want to show you exactly where Hurricane Harvey made landfall. So just take a look. You can see it here at 10 p.m. San Jose Island, which is 4 miles east of Rockport, Texas. Again, as a Category 4, so a monster storm, 130-mile-an-hour winds. Right now, it's moving northwest at 7 miles per hour. So let's zoom in. This is what it looks like right now, and you can really make out here. There's that eye. Boom. So it's making landfall. As we zoom in, you can see a little bit closer, and it is pretty dramatic as it makes landfall. Here is Rockport. So this is the area that we're talking about in Texas. Of course, the problem is that here's the track. This is the updated track from the National Hurricane Center. And of course, you can see it is going to stay in the same area.
The entire 600-acre facility would once again see cars on its track, but not in the way you would think. The track was being used to hold the damaged cars from Hurricane Harvey. The insurance companies would process vehicles here to later be sold for auction. The damaged vehicles leaking fluids as well as the constant traffic only further deteriorated the already aging track. This sealed its fate and would never hold another race after this. July 19, 2018. The track would see more action, this time it was by way of construction. The lights, the sounds of cheers from fans and the sound of engines roaring around the 2-mile super speedway, all but a distant memory. The track was being transformed into a master-planned community called Southern Point. 550 acres with 73 acres of green space and water retention. 1,400 single-family home lots slowly replacing the footprint of the 2-mile super speedway.
College Station's Texas World Speedway is getting ready to become a memory, and 2 locals who grew up with the track are paying their last visits before it turns into a residential area. KRHD News reporter Rebecca Fiedler takes us to South College Station for more.
So this particular one, signed by Richard Petty, this is a 1971 Plymouth Roadrunner.
Well, I
Lifelong College Station resident and NASCAR fanatic Mike Guidry brought his Richard Petty customized Dodge Charger and other memorabilia out to the edge of the property line for what once was one of the nation's largest NASCAR tracks. Guidry wanted one more look at the site of one of his favorite childhood memories before it's lost to time.
When you look at it from an aerial view and see this giant 2-mile oval, and doing the research, realizes that this is only one of a handful of super speedways that are around the nation.
Since Guidry grew up in College Station during the 1970s, he was able to witness NASCAR races here when the track was in its prime. It's those experiences Guidry had as a kid that has led him into a decades-long hobby surrounding race cars.
Around 1998, I started getting more into racing again. And I started studying more about this track, like why doesn't this track exist anymore?
Through his research, Guidry found that attendance had declined over the years, especially since NASCAR no longer hosted races there in the 1980s. Guidry and his friend, Constable Jeff Reeves, say they remember watching the former track deteriorate over the years, such as when cars, salvaged from Hurricane Harvey, were stored on the site. Reeves was on security detail at the track when that happened.
You put cars out here that are leaking oil and they're damaged, and you got people running around out here in vehicles and stuff around them and stuff. It deteriorates the land and parts of the track as well.
Now the land is being developed for new homes, with some portions of the Southern Point subdivision already having reached completion. Guidry says he just hopes a little care is taken to preserve some relics and artifacts from the once popular track. He feels it's a memory that Aggieland should always treasure.
I'm really hoping that they're going to keep that backstretch, have some sort of a symbolic idea of what was here, and hopefully keep that here for years to come.
Reporting in College Station, Rebecca Fiedler, KRE.